Well, in order to free a lot of people and everything else, I have to make this video, and a lot of people wondering why everything's going on like it is in the way of this world and right now, and what would my part in this? Well, God had turned His back on a lot of people of this world. It's not what they think, and God had turned His back on this world for a lot of reasons. There had been a lot of evil going on and everything else, and um, let's just say the watchers caught hold of me and found out who I was. Well, through my suffering, God can feel the pain of other beings, and that's how it's going on right now. They want to make sure that I suffer to the fullest, you know what I mean, to get God's attention. And honestly, my message from the ones from below would say that, God, we need you. You know, God, we need you in this world to help us get through this world, because we can't do it by ourselves. There's no way that we can do what you do, God. So we need your help. We need to turn. He needed to turn his face back towards us. He needed to once again look at this world, because all of the pain that I'm suffering, I am a messenger to God, one of the highest. He had turned his back for all the evil that was going on, and things was gonna start, you know, falling for the worse. But these people, the watchers, these people, I've been under there, and I've been raised by entities. I haven't been raised by anybody, or everybody that I seem to come in contact with. Entities pass through them, very powerful ones that the human flesh really can't even fight off. So everybody that has met me in their life know what I'm talking about. So these watchers are so mad at God, though. They're showing them that with the things that I go through, this is how they feel on earth. So they have to feel like I have to send a message of sorrow and hurt and pain and everything else for God to see and feel, because our feelings are what goes to heaven. Our thoughts really go to heaven. But when we feel those feelings of hurt, despair, pain, when God sees that, when he sees one of his messengers going through all of this, maybe the world can be blessed by me feeling the pain. And that's what Jesus had done for us, and people don't realize that. That's some inside things that people haven't written before. Jesus really felt the pain when he was, don't get me wrong, his physical pain with the cross and bearing the cross was one thing. But let's talk about when Jesus had to go around the world telling him that he was the Son of God, and no one believed him, and he couldn't find one friend on this earth, excuse me. And that in itself is a lot more mental pain. That mental pain is way worse than any physical pain you'd ever have to deal with. So I'd like to add to the Bible, like Paul said we couldn't. I'd like to add to the part that Jesus is not being able to have a friend or anybody who really believed him, or anybody he could associate with, because he was such vibing at a high level, was a lot more hurt and suffering than people can even realize. And there was so many different things that I've experienced in my life that I would like to add into Jesus' suffering, because he just didn't carry that cross. He was humiliated as God's son, a whole bunch of other things. That's why, you know, when God says to send Jesus and pray through Jesus' name, you realize how them prayers don't work until you say through Jesus' name. I tell y'all, this is a very, very, very important message I'm giving y'all. So the watchers feel like all God's children who are suffering, basically a collective group of people that they know, they have went in time and saw these people, that they said that they're tired of. Well, God had turned his back. He had to turn his back towards us again, and some calls had to be let out towards God. And that's what I'm here for. God, I'm a gold blood. God heard me. God heard I guess he heard a lot of people's prayers about what was going on in this earth. Well, and God also has a message for the watchers. His message is, do you see why y'all stay where y'all at? And wondering why that he turned his back on y'all, because look how y'all treat people. But also the lesson had to be learned on the other side of things, is they had to teach me a lesson about my life and how to become a better person and how to become more of a divine being. So I take no sides in it, because I see both sides. I was born of the black and the white. You know, I was born of the darkness and the light. You know, hopefully by my presence I can connect part of heaven to part of earth. You know, be at least meet me halfway. You know. But that's the real problem, is that the watchers feel like they have to show me, they have to, through me, my suffering, through through my suffering is going to show what the world is going through. And it's the same thing Jesus went through. You know what I mean? Jesus had sometimes a hard place, no place to sleep and everything. I accept my job on earth. Don't get me wrong. The pain and suffering that I do and I feel and everything else is when you have nobody and everything. And part of it is off of, I can't lie, part of what they're doing is for the lesson to be learned in a divine fashion, because what's bad is good sometimes and what's good is bad. You know, you learn your hardest lessons through your hardest sufferings, and I understand that. But what they're doing now is now they have showed a complete hate towards God. They have showed a complete hate towards my being and the rest of the collective who have held their heads up high. Those who haven't quit yet, held their heads up high. Woman, you know you're doing wrong right now. Terrebonne Parish, you know what you're doing to me is over the limit of what you're doing to me. You had a certain time. Time's up. All you did and God showed you is I transmuted all that energy. If y'all didn't believe I was a divine being, I transmuted some energy as long as, and hopefully my vibration is hitting across the world right now. I can't lie. If we can transmute that bad energy into something great, of abundance, of love, of compassion towards people, if we can transmute that bad energy into something good, once the light is shined on us, we'll be doing good. I'm not in the best moods right now. That's why it's kind of, my voice is kind of just like blah, just kind of average, and I'm just giving y'all this message because I feel like I have to give this message about what is happening with everything. And these watchers and the people who run this world, you have to understand, they've been running it for so long like this, but they're stealing. They're stealing now. And it goes deeper than that. And in some of my other videos, I tell you how Great Britain is looking to take over the United States through spiritual warfare along with China and Japan. It's why we dropped the atom bombs on them. We were fighting somebody we couldn't see. This is a very important message I'm giving y'all right now. Very important. This message comes straight from God. So the watchers and everybody else are so jealous of me and what I'm going to get in my blessings from God. But I put in the work, I'm the one who got the message out there, and it wasn't easy. You know, I can't lie. They helped me get the message out. The watchers helped me get the message out. But there's one thing I have to say. If y'all going to treat people like that and steal from the people on this earth, then y'all are wrong. Because if I can't be anything greater, if anything, I'm going to be greater than y'all. And you're going to stop taking these people's land that worked. So some of the ancestors worked hard for their land, and you're taking my family's land from me, killing folks off because of the shit like that. Terrebonne Parish, you just do not know what's coming for y'all. It's fatal for most of y'all who have went against what God believes in. Authority, abusing power will feel the wrath of God, and I'm sure it is. It's not like I'm guessing or anything. Now God has turned his face to the world again because he sees all of what was happening. The message had to go out. The message had to go out. And they are saying that they're running the world right and everything, but they're not doing a good job of it. I'm not lying. With stealing people's property, abusing, and people doing jail time that shouldn't be in jail. My next video is going to be a video about how they would come up. In this video here, I can't lie, is a lot out of anger, but I have to tell people how to fight their cases in the court of law. And it's going to be a little bit of to release a lot of these drug distribution offenders out of jail. I'm going to release this video next. But thank you for listening to me. And this is what's going on in my life, and it's going on in a lot of people's vibrational lives, because we all have to suffer a little bit as a collective group in order to go ahead and learn the lessons to get to the higher levels of heaven. Guess what? Those who didn't, and those who are dishing out the lessons, who thought that they were the lesson, actually the collective group of people are the lessons to y'all. Been that y'all whole life. Y'all couldn't turn around and love them like y'all should. I want everybody to have a good night. Thank y'all.